Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus tarot oracle reading for the full moon and Mercury in retrograde for the month of June. And Leo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Leo, we all have a little bit of Leo in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Leo in, that's where this energy will show up most prominently for you. And this is also timely. So if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we are starting with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck for the entire reading, and we have the Seven of Pentacles. Pentacles in tarot are health, wealth, and happiness. So this is talking about, it's represented. It's the element of earth, and it's represented by coin, because of course, on Earth we need to have money, and it's a big part of our health, wealth, and happiness. But this is more about lifestyle. You could have all the money in the world, and if you don't have your health and your and love in your life, you're not going to be living the best lifestyle that you could. This particular card is talking about the energy of he's looking at these six pentacles here, and he's wondering, like, I have invested so much time, money, and energy into this project, and this is all I've gotten out of it. And I'm just wondering, like, what the heck is going on? Why can't I make this work? This energy, he's used to being way more successful than this. So he's trying to decide, should I keep going on this project? Should I give it up right now? Should I just accept my losses? Is it worth even investing any more time and energy? And I would say, just with the underlying energy that's out there right now astrologically, a lot of this card is coming up in a lot of the readings, and it has been for a little bit here, because I think a big part of it is that Neptune, which is kind of rules the sign of Pisces, it is about the way we approach life, like our idealism towards life. Like, how do we approach relationships, like to work, to business, to friends, family, lovers, our relationship with money, etc. And Neptune has been in the sign of Pisces, where it was very comfortable because it rules Pisces, for the last 14 years. And about a month and a week or so, it moved into the sign of Aries. And Aries is like a water sign, or a fire sign rather than water sign. Aries is the newborn baby of the very first sign in the zodiac. Totally opposite from the senior executive Pisces watery energy. And that idealistic attitude that is typical of the Neptune in Pisces energy is like having a lot more an easygoing nature, a little more dreamy. Things will work out, I'm not too worried about it energy. Moving into the sign of Aries, which is like pretty much the opposite. It's, a newborn baby screaming at the top of its lungs because no one can figure out what it wants. And it's that type of energy. And this is a fire sign. So there's a lot of difference in between the two signs. And we were in, Neptune was in the sign of Pisces for the last 14 years. And now it has moved for 14 years into Aries. And Aries is talking about all new energy. And, it's ruled by Mars, so it can be a way more aggressive planet. And so it's kind of like, or a more aggressive sign. It's kind of like, babies get, the glyph for Aries is the ram, and that energy, babies come in head first and they can be pushy. You may have noticed that energy. So if you've ever had a newborn in the house, you know what it's like. Everybody's running around for something so small and helpless. everybody's running around trying to make sure that they get what they want. And that's the kind of energy that I feel like a lot of us feel we're in right now. We finally figured it out after 14 years. Hey, I know if I do it this way, it's going to work. It always works. Finally, I figured it out. And now the universe is saying, oh, by the way, you have to, that way you learned it before, now we're going to do it this way. And it's like, so now it's kind of like when your phone updates, when your cell phone updates and you just figured it out and now you've got to, look at, okay, how can I use it? It still works. You just have to make sure that you might have to take a few hours to figure out what the shift, what the updates are and use it in a slightly different way. So I would say be careful not to throw the baby out with the bathwater when this card comes up in the energy that we're in right now, because we just moved into this like about a month and a half ago. And believe me, you're not the only one that's feeling this. This has been coming up ever since that has happened in the astrological readings and in the daily ones and in the random shift ones. There's a lot of people wondering, why isn't it working? I figured it. I thought I had it figured out. Is there something wrong with me? No, there's nothing wrong with you, but you may need to take a look at it again and just tweak it a little bit before throwing the whole thing out. This is talking about the energy for the internal forces. And so this is again Pentacle energy. And this is saying that, you're actually in an elevated position here. This is talking about your internal forces, what you have control over. I feel like you've mastered a skill set here, and people are really starting to notice you're very good at what you do. And so this is really a good energy to be in. People are wanting to collaborate with you. This energy can be talking about people moving forward that are like, quite often this will represent someone like from the entertainment industry. So actors, actresses, bands, musicians, and people from that industry are approaching you and they want you to be in their next blockbuster, or they want you to tour and they want to do produce your music. This can represent athletes that are very talented. So it could be like maybe scouts coming by and offering scholarships for colleges or universities, sorry, not universities. And it can also be even past that, like you're already at the university or college, and now there's professional teams coming around wanting you to be on their team. It's really awesome energy. You're doing a great job, but there is a warning with this card. It's saying that if anyone you collaborate with, you want to make sure that they're aligned with the lifestyle you want to live. So it's just saying that many people in this industry have signed contracts and agreements that they really regret later because they didn't read the fine print, basically. This is saying if people are collaborating with you and there's a spotlight on your work, make sure that you get a good lawyer. It's worth paying for a good lawyer to go over the contract before you sign it, especially if Mercury in retrograde energy, which is coming up on the 29th until July 23rd. You want to make sure, because there can be a lot of glitches in communication with contracts and agreements when like from even like a week before and a week after Mercury in retrograde. So it's very important for you. Sometimes there can be secret societies that sign people up. There's industries like in Hollywood, we're seeing that all over the news in the last 6 months with the files coming out and everything. A lot of the elite people and how we thought, oh, they look like they have everything. They have the looks, they have the talent, they have the money, they have the lifestyle, but they're living this backstory that's really, really challenging. And so this is talking about just, making sure you know who you're working with, that they're in alignment with your goals. And it's not, the pentacle energy is not about money only. So it's not necessarily the best choice, may not necessarily be the one with the highest dollar amount, but it could be maybe something like say you're on a pro team and you want to be closer to your family, and there's one that pays a little bit less, but you would be closer to a family. Maybe you have a young, a wife or husband and young children, and you want to be able, you want to be closer to family in case, something happens, that kind of energy, or to be close to grandparents or whatever. So just, it's situations like that. And then sometimes these are secret societies that can be very, make life miserable if you sign up for them, and then you're not in alignment. When the secret society energy, they have their ways of doing things, their rituals, whatever they do, and they take it very seriously. So when you sign up for them, you sign up for them, and they expect you to fulfill that contract, regardless of whether you read the fine print or not. So just, get a good lawyer. That's the advice. Also, we have the Queen of Cups here. This is talking about how you see yourself right now. So you're feeling that the Queen of Cups is the most likely of the four queens in the minor arcana to be in a traditional marriage. Sometimes this is like trad wife energy. Someone who likes to be home with the children and cook the meals and, homeschool maybe, that type of energy. Someone who's really loves to be with the children and the pets and just look after the home and make it really beautiful and pleasant. That energy, this energy can also represent the maternal bloodline. And so it's like a container of the maternal bloodline. This is a trophy showing unconditional love. And also that the mitochondria, which is like it would be like the battery basically of your cells. The mitochondria carry the bloodline of the maternal bloodline. So your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, etc. The mitochondria is passed down to both daughters and sons, but it's only passed on or passed along by daughters, that not by sons. So, they can track this, the mitochondria, when they do DNA, they can track that maternal bloodline back centuries because of that. And so sometimes this card can represent that kind of energy where there could be something about DNA, adoption, some sort of energy around that. It could be talking about something that happened in your maternal bloodline, and maybe it's interesting because we have the World card here right away then after that. And so this is talking about the World. A card comes up. It's 21, number 21 in the major arcana. The Fool starts off at the 0 point, and when they hit the 21 card, whenever that happens, it doesn't necessarily come in order. We're just starting this reading and boom, we've got the World card here. It's talking about the end of a cycle. It's saying, okay, you've accomplished everything you can in that energy, whatever you've been going through up to now. I don't have a whole lot of information on it. We do have a loss of money here. We have this energy of being in an elevated position, very good at what you do. So there should be more here. Sometimes this, and we're talking about the maternal bloodline. So we're going to keep going with this, but this is saying this cycle is over. And because it could be because of of something happening, and we're going to find out about that. And how are we going to move forward? So this is talking about your abundance is changing. So this energy is changing. So this is really good. And okay, so let's keep going here. We have regret in love. All right, so this is someone who's disappointed in love. The cups in tarot represent love. This could be romantic love for sure, but it could also be love of anyone or anything, and it could even be love of something you love to do or be. So, we have 3 cups spilled here. And if you've ever heard the saying, don't cry over spilt milk, it's because once the milk's in the ground, you're not going to be able to recover it. So you have to accept this as a loss. In this case, we have 2 cups with wine and a 3rd cup with a different liquid in it. So this energy could be talking about a third-party energy in a romantic relationship that has ended the relationship. It's a loss. And this sometimes could also represent the energy of, business partners or disappointing you, family members, that type of energy. It can represent besides your significant other. It could be something that you love to do or something you love to be. And so it could be like that, it's in kind of alignment with this energy as well. The best thing that you can do is, turn around and notice that there's 2 cups standing, and be grateful that they are, and appreciate that energy. Pick them up, walk down the path, cross the bridge over troubled waters, and go and sort through things in your castle. Now, the castle in the background, it even looks like it's half standing and half dilapidated. And that energy can represent that the glass might be half full, or the glass might be half empty compared to your, that's kind of up to your attitude as you move into this energy. So it's talking about, you might need to you really keep your, have a good attitude to get over this, but you can recover from this. And this is in the position of, like your communication from when you were young, like your childhood, from your first family. So maybe something happened in your maternal bloodline or something that changed their world. And maybe at one point, whatever happened here, it's talking about what happened to them, and that they had a big loss. A lot of times in the readings that I'm doing right now, the energy of Uranus and Gemini is coming up a lot in the readings, in all of my readings, and it's not surprising. That and Neptune basically is coming up. The moon in that I'll talk about in a minute here, but this is coming up now. So I'm wondering, because Uranus in Gemini, bottom line is that it hasn't been in the sign of, Uranus hasn't been in the sign of Gemini since 1941 to 1949, which happens to be when World War II was happening, excuse me, and the aftermath. So there could be some of that energy down your maternal bloodline, that there was a loss or something during that time frame. The thing about Gemini is it wants the truth to come out. So there could be some sort of truth coming in about something that happened back then. And it might be about your ancestors, your maternal bloodline. And maybe it does have an effect on you, and you need to, that some of that information is going to come out, because this is about communication from your childhood. And with the full moon is in Cancer, and this is about home life. Stella, you're knocking the camera around. She's got the zoomies, sorry. My cat's kind of running around. No, I can't put you outside right now. You have to wait till I'm done this reading. You go be a good girl. I will put you out as soon as I'm done this reading. She wants to go outside, and she's not allowed out without her harness on and with me watching, because we're on a balcony. She decided, last year, she decided to visit the neighbors, which was really dangerous. It's okay, Stella. Did that scare you? There was a big loud noise there. So this energy here is talking about moving forward now. In this energy, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is talking about, she's considered to be the coldest of the 4 queens. Now, this is someone who's divorced. And this energy would be in your, how you feel now. So there could have been some sort of loss. It doesn't have to be divorced. But sometimes this energy, the queen is most likely to be cold because she's divorced. That's what this one bird in the background represents. This could be also an energy of, she's got her left hand out, so she's willing to receive. But her right hand, she's got that sword, and she's wielding it in her hands. And that sword is talking about, she's been there, she's done that, she has a t-shirt, she's been having a very difficult time. This is talking about intellectual, your mental intelligence, as opposed to the energy of your intuition. And this is about, she's willing to receive, but she's like, off with your head if you come in with any bullshit for me. I'm not in the mood for it. And then she has this energy. She's sitting on this, on her throne here, and her head is above the clouds. So she now has clarity over a situation that has happened. This is talking about the energy of, having a clear view of something after. So this could be you, or this could be some sort of energy that made your bloodline, that happened to the maternal bloodline. That was really upsetting. There could have been some sort of separation of something, some sort of energy coming in. And then we have this tower. Yeah, because there's a tower happening. Maybe there was a divorce, maybe, or maybe someone was lost in World War II. It could be that type of energy. Maybe there was an affair in another country. That sometimes comes up with this DNA energy. In any case, the tower is representing the energy of, this is talking about a tower happening, and in the beginning, it's like the universe is trying to get your attention, saying, hey, you need to pay attention to your intuition. At first it whispers, and it's like, hey, you need to take a look at this. There's something going on. But you don't. So then the frying pan comes out, whack, over the head, and you're like, hey, and that hurt. And the universe is saying, you need to pay attention to this, or it's going to be even worse. Then next thing you know, you've got the 2x4. You still don't get it. And then the lightning hits the tower. So this is talking about, now it's on fire. People are falling out of it. This has to be rebuilt. And so we have one person who's very shocked, and the other person who's really like, I knew I should have taken care of this. So when a tower hits, it's actually a reality check. This is in your creativity, romance, and your children. So there could have been something like that. This could be a tower in your own energy, or it could be something that happened in the past to someone in your maternal bloodline. And maybe it has an effect on you in some way. There's a lot of scenarios. And now that people have that DNA testing, that for ancestors, it's so easy to find out, your lineage. It's way easier than it ever was in the past. So this reality check, though, is something that you need to pay attention to. It wasn't paid attention to. And so it turns into, like, it's something that if you nip it in the bud, you might not have a tower. But sometimes the tower is just unavoidable. And if it's talking about a tower coming from from like something that happened, and it was something to do with that time frame, of World War II, like that energy of Uranus and Gemini is going to be with us till 2033, and it wants the truth to come out. So there's truths coming out all sorts of ways. You'll see this. It's kind of like kind of weird energy, the way the truth is coming out. It's like out of the blue. This one, and you'll be watching the news and you'll be, what? Like, how did that happen? It's that type of energy. But regardless, the truth is coming out. And so when the reality check happens, it's uncomfortable for everyone. But if you're on the right side of the law, if you've been, if you haven't done anything that you can think of that could be a real problem, then it could be talking about something coming, the reality check sometimes will be like, man, that was really hard to go through, but it was the best thing that I did, because now, I'm so much better off for it. And that's kind of the energy we have here then, because we have the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is someone who's really highly admired for having a really good lifestyle. This is talking about, financial success. This energy represents people that quite often are in the financial industry. So it can, when we have a king here, so it can be talking about like the energy of financial advisors, wealth management, accountants, that sort of insurance, retirement planning, estate planning, all of that type of energy. And it could be, if that's the case, it's more than likely someone that has established their reputation, that's a partner in an established firm, and someone higher up. Sometimes this can represent the energy of like people that actually control the finances of countries, financial ministers, that type of energy. Head financial advisors financial in the what do you call it? CFO. I don't know if I've said that right. Of a large corporation, chief financial advisor, I think, or officer. Then this energy can also talk about. It can be about real estate, because this is matters of the earth. So if it's real estate, if it's a real estate agent, it would definitely be someone that's well established and dealing with commercial or residential properties that are higher end. It could be an energy of, mortgage brokers, that sort of thing, and land developers, builders. This energy can also be talking about, let's see what else we have. Entrepreneurs that are very successful, and some, minerals in the ground, so oil, gold, silver, the stock market, that sort of thing, and just a real successful entrepreneur. It can be also agriculture, but this the grapes that are all over this king's robe are representing, grapes in tarot represent something that's a luxury item, and it's saying that, they're hard to grow, but the king of Pentacles is able to grow them, and he's also, if he can make money off of them, even better. This is someone that people really look up to for financial advice. They consider them to be, really good with business, someone that you could go to for advice and get guidance. So maybe that could also be something that you might want to consider doing in this energy. And maybe if you get another viewpoint, you might be able to figure out what's going on here. All right, then we have, we're going to look at the external forces. So from the bottom of the deck, we have the underlying energy for external forces is the Page of Pentacles. So there is some information coming in about this, these pentacles. And so this energy would be talking about, someone, the pages would work for the king and the queen, and they would start very young. They would be like maybe 7 to 14. You have to think back in those days, the life expectancy was way less than now, probably only half. And but this would be a real coup. It would be a really, really good opportunity. It would be a feather in his cap, and also something to add prestige to the family. Much better occupation than most people were doing. And so this would be someone that would be responsible for running communication back and forth within the palace, and then taking that energy and being able to, do tasks and that, and be given more responsibility if they were well suited to it. And when they became older, if they were an adult at 21 and they could afford a horse, they might even be considered to be a knight, be ordained for knighthood. The energy, the communication coming in, you don't have to expect a page to show up at your door when this, but it is talking about some sort of communication or information coming in about lifestyle, the pentacle energy. And it could be, I feel, some sort of something that happened maybe down your maternal line that maybe you're not aware of. This energy is talking also about, it could be a phone call, a text message. It might be something that comes in the mail, documents, paperwork. This could represent emails. Maybe you're on social media and someone messages you, and then you end up doing business together. Who knows? This energy can also talk about maybe an event, and then you go to it, and next thing you know, you bump into someone that has the perfect information. The universe brings information in very different ways. So that's what this is talking about. And it's also saying, pay attention to what's going on at the top of the pyramid, because whatever is happening at the top with business, etc., can give you a lot of, if you just look into that a little bit, and just, it might give you some ideas for business, what the latest trends are, but it also could give you idea of maybe what to invest in, that sort of information. All right, and we have the energy of, okay, so we have some cutthroat energy here. I was wondering if this would show up with the queen in this mood and the loss here, and a reality check. So something is going on. Some sort of information is coming in. And it might not have anything to do with your maternal bloodline for some of you, but it might for others. It's like this is from a different world, and then this could be something that's happened in your own life, because like as I said, the Queen of Swords can quite often be representing someone divorced, and we do have this, this could be disappointment over a love relationship. This is in the energy of your partnerships, commitment, and marriage. So there could have been some cutthroat energy there. I don't really, like, this is not a, like whatever, this is talking about someone willing to take any risk to get something. It's talking about, like, this energy is coming from the external forces, but it's your partnerships, commitment, and marriage. So let's keep going here. That's kind of like not usually in that position. So we'll keep going and just see. This is talking about the High Priestess energy. The High Priestess is talking about, she's joyful because she's sitting in between these two pillars, which represent two extremes in her life. And she's talking about, these are like opposites, basically. And then this in the background is all the information coming in towards her. And so she follows the cycles of the moon to be very intuitive. And so it's talking about the two edges of of your intellect being your logical mind and your intuition. She is sorts through all this by, it's like, this is talking about 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond, because there's so much information coming in. But that much information can be really overwhelming, especially when it comes from two extremes. So what she does is she logically asks the question and then gets the information, and then she sorts through it with her intuition, which information feels like it's the best answer, because there could be like 10 potential answers that would all work, but which one is the best one in this situation? And then she uses that feeling from her brain, like from her central nervous system. Your central nervous system is like a biocomputer. It will let you know if, by the sensations you feel in your body, if you're energetically strong to something or if you're weak to it. And it's kind of training that ability and to notice that. And so then once she feels, okay, this is the answer I'm going to go with, then she's going to apply it logically. And she's sitting in between two major extremes, because this pillar represents Jesus and this one represents the devil. And then we have this energy here of the page, or the Ace of Wands. And so the Ace of Wands energy is talking about a passion for new discovery coming in. This is a gift from the divine, from the universe, for you to be able to move forward in your life. Maybe after this information comes in, there could even be maybe another relationship coming in that's passionate, to replace this one if it's been cutthroat and now you're not in it anymore. That's where we have the sword energy sitting, is right here. So this is in your higher learning. And then we have the Strength card. So again, now this card quite often can represent energy from your childhood. The Strength card is representing, like, this young woman is reaching into this lion's mouth, and this is a mature lion, and it's this is like a male lion. So this is talking about a very dangerous thing to do, yet she's determined to do it. And look how the lion is being very submissive to this energy. He's got his tail tucked in underneath like a dog here. So this is talking about the energy of he's accepting this. And that's because this red lion represents fear. And quite often this can be about facing fears from your childhood, something that happened. So again, it's kind of going back in time a little bit. This is talking about infinite potential, and that's why she's doing it. She's determined to reach her infinite potential, and she has the strength and courage to face her shadow side, like whatever's happened in the past. And it could just be about this energy here. If you're going through a disappointment in love or something, and you've had a tower, it could be about working on that energy. This is in your career and reputation, though. And then we have in your position of blessings, look at the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. So this is that Gemini, Uranus and Gemini energy here. And this is a real gift if it's in during Mercury retrograde. So the full moon is in Cancer on the 29th of June. And the Cancer energy is talking about the energy of your home life and your personal, like, more domestic side of you. And when the full moon comes out, it's in the sign of Cancer. When the Cancer full moon tends to be more emotional than a lot of them, because Cancer is ruled by the moon. And the thing is about this Cancer energy as well is that opposing it is the Capricorn energy. And Capricorn is about ambition in your career and your reputation. So it's kind of like the best case scenario is when your home life does support your business life and your business life supports your home life. And that it's an equal exchange, like it's a synchronicity in that. And so this could be talking about some truth coming out that maybe about your home life, I feel, that maybe is that's affecting your career and reputation. And this is a blessing coming into you, that you learn the truth, because then you'll know exactly what to do. God's saying, like, this is a gift from the divine saying, you've been on your path and you deserve to know the truth. And so it's something here about that. And then look at this. It's saying, basically, this is now that you know what you know, you have conviction beyond a doubt which route to take. Awesome. And this is finally some fire showing up in here. Here's the passion coming in, passionate action. And so this is talking about you're willing to defend what's yours here now that you know what it is. Something is coming in, information about why missing pentacles. And it might go way back. This could be when it's a lot of money, because this is talking about a luxurious lifestyle. And maybe there's someone that comes towards you with information about this pentacle that's like someone that deals with that, like trusts and, wills and stuff like that, like inheritances and stuff. Maybe there's something that you didn't know about, and now, this energy has come out because the truth is coming out here. And this is then, you now that you know what you know, you have conviction beyond a doubt what you're going to do. You're going to go on a holiday. Just joking. I'm not sure what you're going to do. But so this is talking about finding out, though, that, there was some sort of competition here, that and these are actions that other people are taking, and you feel the need to protect yourself. And so now, but you know what you know that you need to, you have conviction beyond a doubt what you're going to do. You're standing on higher ground. And you notice this person has a boot on one foot and a shoe on the other. Sometimes this can talk about an energy of having one foot in one world and one foot in another. So like you're in between these two worlds. You're not quite there yet, but you're on your way. And it can also sometimes say that someone's been walking in your shoes, or you've been walking in someone else's shoes. So sometimes with this energy here, this loss, the tower, that kind of energy, the truth coming out, this is what you say in a court of law, the cutthroat energy, this energy here, this could represent some sort of energy of forgery, identity theft, someone that has been walking in your shoes, literally. And because conviction beyond a doubt means, can also mean a prison sentence. Do we have any other? We don't have, we have this can sometimes cause that. This can be about, there's not a whole lot of energy that way, but there is cutthroat energy. So maybe something happened way back when, and it just was found out now, and hey, it's a windfall coming in for you. That you find this out, that maybe you have a relative maybe overseas left you some money or something. It could be something like that. Take it for what you use your intuition here. This is there's a lot of stories coming in, and some of them are very entertaining, but not everybody's going to have a relative that, you know, left them money from overseas. But you never know. All right. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you for your time and energy, and your likes and comments and shares and subscribes. I really appreciate them. It's really empowering me to build my channel. I'm going to clarify this for those who want clarification. I'm using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. And the numbers on these cards represent the paintings that I did. I started this in 2007. And in 2020, I completed all 64 paintings. And this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the gallery on my website. You can look them up there if you want to. After, the information will be in the description box below. And you can take a look there if you want. All right, this is the order. I'll put them in the order they appear here. So we're beginning with the Cancer energy. That's definitely talking about this full moon energy coming up, and probably the Mercury retrograde, the miscommunication, misinformation regarding this missing money. I feel like you're going to find out, especially with this card here in blessings. Mother's worry. So, you know, maybe, you know, way back when, during war, when mothers worry, of course they would be worried then, especially if their partner had to go fight. You know, a lot of people, it could have been a loss in that way from your great-grandmother, grandmother, that type of energy. So mothers worry, and worrying about how am I going to look after the children in that. And sometimes there could have been an energy of, there back in those times, like there was a lot of people hiding people to rescue them from the energy back then. So it could be some, you know, it could have been something really like that, like, which is wild, right? And then we have this energy here talking about down the maternal line. It's about a situation of your ego. So it's talking about keep your ego in check. So the ego is talking about maybe there was some sort of information that someone didn't share for whatever reason. Like there could be some other family member or whatever that didn't share it. And they thought they knew better, and that it was better that you didn't know about this or something. Who knows? That kind of shift happens a lot. Maybe it was even your mother just not wanting you to know about something that happened back then. It could have to do with paternity for sure then. The Empress energy is here. So sometimes, like, it's really interesting because this energy, it's sitting right on the world, and it's almost like your world changes, and you could be like in the Empress energy all of a sudden once this truth comes out. There could be way more money than we can imagine here. So, you know, we'll see what happens, I guess. This is in your abundance, though, and this Empress energy is a powerful manifester. You know, this is talking about the karmic space of pride. All or nothing energy. Man, this card has been coming up so much lately. So this is about communication in your early childhood. So maybe you weren't told the whole story. You were told maybe nothing about it, or maybe they missed out some facts. That kind of energy. All right, yeah. I knew someone in high school that she found out, you know, when she was young, I think she was around 7 or 8, that her mother was actually her, or that her sister was actually her mother. So it does happen. I know someone like, I don't know her anymore, but I used to know her. And that, you know, she was, you know, that was quite the shock for her. And it was someone that was also like, it was a situation where there was fighting, you know, like there was war energy happening. So you never know. The Scorpio energy, we're talking about uniting. Scorpio energy at its best is about uniting the energy instead of conquering. And so this is coming up, I feel, with this being in an elevated position. Be careful of people who want to conquer you. This might just be talking about that energy of hiding people back in those days. In a lot of those countries, brave people, you know, they had an you know, like I don't even know what you would call it. I can never find words when I'm doing readings that I know I know the word, but I just can't find it right now. But you know, an underground tunnel energy of hiding people and sneaking people in and out of the country. You know, that happened a lot back then, and still does now. Apparently, you've seen that on the news, where all of a sudden there's all these tunnels all over the place, all over the there was an actor, and he had tunnels under his place, and it was just wild. That was like a weird situation. But anyway, we also have the Taurus energy coming in here. This is learning the give and take of society, and the Taurus energy can be stubborn. So maybe someone just didn't feel like they wanted to tell the story, but then they waited too long when they finally did, and boom, kaboom. It was an implosion, explosion. And then we have the moon energy here. So this is talking about that full moon coming up for sure. Reckless abandon, WRECK. Recognize that, like, if this information should happen to come out around then, like, because this is when intuition is really high and hidden secrets have a tendency to come out, then you control your emotions, because like communication during Mercury retrograde can be really unsteady, you know, that type of energy. And you don't want to be like, and it can be really emotional if you find something out. So just keep that in mind. Do your best to keep your emotions in check. We have the lack of awareness. Yeah. Never underestimate the power of willful ignorance, because it's caused you. Someone wanted to keep you ignorant of this. And look at, it's someone close to you. If you know, in that energy, like, or from your, you know, like from your ancestors. So because this is external forces coming towards, but this lack of awareness. Never underestimate the power of willful ignorance, because it causes missed opportunities, which is the very beginning what we're talking about here. And then we have Aquarius energy. Uranus, it rules Aquarius. It's about that Gemini energy. Uranus can be a real pain in the butt for people who don't tell the truth. That's for sure. And then we have Pisces energy. And that's that energy I was talking about when, you know, it like, particularly since the beginning of this year, a lot of planets were in the sign of Aries. And, you know, like Neptune's hanging out there for 14 years, and Saturn is, you know, was in there, and there was a lot of planets, and it caused a lot of new energy coming in. But I feel this Pisces energy is talking about the fact that Neptune is in Aries, and that it could, you know, remember at the very beginning I was saying you want to watch this energy. I forgot to get the underlying energy for the Page of Pentacles, Judgment. So wow, so like, you know, the Page of Pentacles is talking about something that maybe happened when you were at elementary school, high school, college days, just before that. And that's what this judgment is being called on. So this was an important one. I'm glad I remembered it here. So this is talking about God's judgment, and that your heart will be unfettered after that. So this is coming in, and that is what I feel is the truth coming in. Yeah, I'm glad I remembered that one now. Maybe, things happen in readings for a reason. Maybe it's just like, okay, it just is coming up because you're getting there. The Hierophant energy. Okay, now we have a Hierophant coming in, and it's a Hierophant's job to bring God's judgment down and bring that into the traditional court systems of the 3D, and we have the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God, which is what you do when you say what you say in court. And then we have the Chariot, and this is talking. Yes, this is happening on the spiritual realm. This is blessings are coming your way. The Chariot, but the Chariot energy can also represent a law and order, like police coming in with some information, arrests, that sort of energy. But it's saying like it's already happening, and it's in the spiritual and coming down to the physical. And look at this, we have the Magician. So this is an energetic upgrade for you. I feel that you're going to find out something here, you know, or it could be something about your relatives. It could be, you know, whatever it is. But it will give you maybe something that's been always at the back of your mind. It might be something big. It might be something small. It could be this King of Pentacles energy, someone coming forward and saying, hey, you know, your rich uncle back in Germany left you some money, and you're like, woohoo, that type of energy. So I do hope you've enjoyed this. This has been an interesting reading. Thank you so much for your likes and comments. I really appreciate them. And consider subscribing if you resonate. I'm honored when people do so. I will be back with another reading for you soon. Bye for now, Leo.